Hi, everybody. This is Marnie Swedberg, and I am the web hostess of womenspeakers.com. And I am here today with Carla Gasser. So excited to have you with us. Hi, Carla.
Hi, how are you, Marnie?
I'm doing great, and I'm so excited that you were able to join us today for a little while. And this is day two of the speaker booking kickstart, and it's August 2018, and September is like the second biggest booking month of the year. September and January is when everybody comes to book
Yeah,
speakers. I mean, it's happening all year round, but those are the huge months. Everybody's coming off of that summer break, and it's like, oh man, I don't have that Christmas speaker
right.
yet, or I've got that February retreat. So we're doing this kickstart every August. We do something with the speakers to help you guys get your pages ready to go again, really polished up in the way that the planners can really find you and book you. Carla, I'm excited to pick your brain a little bit today because you are actually such a faithful friend of womenspeakers.com, as well as I love watching you get bookings, and it's
Thank
fun.
you.
And I know you have stuff that you can share with us. Um, just a little bit of housekeeping before we dive in.
Sure.
Yesterday's podcast is now available to get more at womenspeakers.com. We had a winner yesterday, Sarah Martin of the One by One Coaching with me. Today's prize is going to be a copy of the Mission Vision training, which is a $99 value. I'm going to give away to somebody today who shares a post. So even while you're watching this, if you want to share it with somebody, that would be great. You would be in the drawing for the prize today. And today's training that we're going to be posting is an hour-long training on branding, how to brand yourself as
Mm,
a speaker. And this is so important that you know who you are, like what God is calling you to do. So as
right.
we talk with Carla, just know all of this is over at Christian Women Speakers Directory at your Facebook group page. Okay, Carla, first of all, um, I really love your about section at womenspeakers.com. You do so many things well, but your about section was really captured my attention, and I wanted you to talk about that for a couple minutes because it matters what you put in that section. I mean, it's like it's one of the first places the planners look. And when you decided what you were going to say about yourself, how did you? I know this really clogs up a lot of people's brains because it's like hard to talk about yourself.
Very much
So
so.
how did you think about it? How did you get that so good?
Yeah. Well, a lot of trial and an error, a lot of asking friends to help and people who had heard me speak before and knew my ministry. I think that really helps because, like you said, I think most of us, especially as Christian women, shy away from that word branding or marketing ourselves or putting it out there. And yet, I think that you do need to capture people's attention and you do need to let them know what you can offer and what you want to give. And so, I love the combination of professional and personal. Yes, I think, um,
Yeah.
event planners want to know that you've had experience, that you've done this before, that you have something to bring to the table. But they also want to know that you're a real woman and that you can relate to the women you're going to be speaking to. So to me,
Love
it's
that.
been that blend of putting my professional experience in there, but also saying, hey, I'm a woman just like you. And I can relate, and I've gone through good times and bad, and God has taught me a lot in my life. And I just want to share that openly and honestly.
That's great. And you do that's some. So what I like to think of like the first 30 words of that about section as the thing that they're going to copy and paste and put into their program.
Yeah.
So do the work for them. And then the stuff under that, that's
Mhm.
all the rest of the stuff that they want to know about you.
Right.
So that's great. So Carla, tell us about like you do a lot of speaking. Where do you get most of your engagements? How does that come about for you?
hmm Well, I do get a lot from women speakers, and it has been a great tool and a resource for me.
Good.
So I appreciate what you do for us, and I appreciate that women can look by state, they can look by topic, they can find you in a variety of
Yeah.
ways. And so I think that is really, really helpful. But I think after that, it really is word of mouth. And
Yeah.
that's really hard to say, but I think the more that you get out there and the more people see you, the more they're going to hear you and then pass you along to another church, another event planner. That is the best way. The other thing that really has helped me is blogging. I know it's not for everybody,
Good.
and I'm a very
Yeah.
reluctant blogger, but I think it's another way to show your audience who you are what you care about, what you write about, what you speak about. So blogging has been
Cool.
another very interesting way for me to let people know who I
Good.
am as a speaker.
Oh, beautiful. And thanks for sharing that too. Yeah, that's so great. And I always say, if you don't have a presence online, you need a presence online. You have to be there
Yes,
somewhere. In some way, you have to
yes,
be sharing what you talk about. Yeah. So,
exactly.
what's one of the things that you've really appreciated about womenspeakers.com? Like, what's one of your favorite things?
One of my favorite things is just the community atmosphere that you have. Marnie, you are so
Oh,
accessible. And
oh,
that is just, that has blown me away from the moment that I have joined and met you, is that you are so
uh,
easy to get a hold of. You're so genuine and real, and your desire to help us, not just promote us, but to help us become better speakers has been just a real blessing to me. And so I thank you for that, because there's a lot of places, and I have joined other speaker bureaus, I've joined other groups, and it's really hard to get that kind of access. It's like you sign up, you pay your money, you kind of go through it, and then you really don't hear. And the resources you provide too are really, really helpful. I've taken advantage. I've listened to your podcast. I've taken some of your courses.
good.
They're practical,
Good.
they're real, they're easy if you follow them. You know, it's not like it's not a lot of work, but it's not rocket science either. And if you're
I always
diligent
say
and
that.
committed, you can, you get results. And so I've
Right.
appreciated that, Marnie. I really have.
Oh, good. Real quick, what's your most requested topic?
Like you said, one of the things that you helped me several years ago is to kind of narrow my focus. I think when you sometimes go to your speaker topic section, you list down everything you've ever spoken about. And while you think, oh, that's great, like, look at me, or I'll speak about anything you want me to speak about, but that doesn't help your branding and your marketing, because then people don't know what you're about.
Right.
So several years ago, you helped me narrow down that a lot of what I speak about is connection. And
Mhm.
if I take that umbrella of connection, I can do a lot of things with it. Connecting with God, connecting your purpose and your passion, connecting with others, connecting with service. And so connection has been the anchor for me. And also when I was able to get my tagline, and I called my ministry At the Crossroads, and I talked about where faith and life intersect, that just helped me in a way that I was surprised by. That when you go ahead and you make a tagline, and when you really try to focus, that everything can flow out of that. And that's really been a great resource for me.
And isn't that amazing? I mean, that's what we're giving away today is that mission vision training where
Exactly.
you narrow this down, and what it does is it expands the whole thing. It's like, how does that work? It seems backwards.
Exactly. That's the best way to say it. When you
Yeah,
narrow, it's like that whole saying, less is more.
yeah, yeah.
The
It's true.
more that you're able to focus it and hone it and pinpoint it, it opens
Love
up
it.
so much more for you. And that's exactly what it did for me. Yes.
Okay, while I've got you here, I'm going to ask you a question that speakers are always asking. How
Okay.
did you decide how much to charge?
That
That's
is
hard.
so hard. And
I
it's
know.
been
Sorry.
difficult. And, my husband's a banker. And, when it really hit me, Marnie, I have a short story to tell you. I
Sure.
went to a speaking engagement. I drove in a snowstorm. I had pneumonia and I didn't even know
Oh
it.
my gosh.
We had agreed on a price, and I was giving them a break because it was a smaller church and it was a friend of a friend. And I got there and they handed me the envelope, but I didn't open it till I got home. And in the envelope was a quarter of what we agreed on. And remember, I had given her already a break. And I sat there at
Oh,
my kitchen table and I just cried. And I looked at my
Jesus.
husband, and my son at the
Oh,
time was working at Panera. And he said to me, "You know what? Your son's making more per hour than you are at Panera." He said, "What is this about? What are you doing?" And I don't regret that. And I don't regret doing things
right.
like that, because they're
Wow.
learning experiences,
Right.
everything. But you have to value, and you have to get people to value your time and your effort.
Wow.
I put
Wow.
several hours in before I
Oh,
speak.
yeah, of
So do
course.
you.
Of course.
You
Yeah,
research, you pray, you
absolutely.
write, you rewrite, you practice. And so I came up with a way of saying,
Wow.
okay, not a per hour kind of thing, but what was worth it. And so in doing so, you have to say no sometimes to get your best yes.
Yeah.
And
Make it
so
fit. Right.
you have to tell people up front what it is. I hate the money talk. I wish someone else could do it for me. But
Yeah.
again, I think people in the end respect you.
Oh, I love that. And I love your story. I remember I had a similar story. I had driven and the van broke down that I was driving. We had to have the full front end. I mean, by the time I got home, we were so far in the hole. It was
Yeah,
like,
yes, exactly,
oh my gosh.
exactly.
Oh my gosh. And you have these just, come to Jesus moments where you just go, okay, God, what is this all about?
Right.
And then all of us, what's so cool is that all of us land at a different place, just like
Hmm.
we do with the mission vision. You're going to
Right.
land at your own place with Jesus and your spouse and your family, and how many weekends a year you will be gone. And,
Exactly.
all of that stuff is part of this conversation, right?
And that
Oh,
speaking is one part of my ministry, just as it is probably one part of yours. And what I try to say to
right.
people, I try to make a lot of other parts of my ministry free. And in doing so, I
Right.
need to make money
Right.
speaking.
Right. It
So,
has to come from somewhere because there are bills to pay. And I mean that
exactly.
everybody knows that, but there's this old mentality with speakers that you give them a plant or something. And you know what I always say, when the speaker is part of your own church family, that's
Mhm.
appropriate. Thank her.
Exactly.
But when she's traveling and she doesn't even know you guys and she's coming to you as a
Mhm.
servant of God, pay her. She needs her
Right.
money.
Right. And that
Oh God.
most speakers that you know and I know too do a lot for free. Like there are so many
Oh,
ministries
yeah,
that
yeah,
I consider my ministry, like my home church or
absolutely.
some local ministries that I would never
Absolutely.
charge for.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. What is your number one favorite organizational tip for other speakers?
What really helped me, and this kind of dovetails with the whole money thing, is learning how to write up a contract.
Ah, good. Good. Good.
Yeah,
Yep.
and just putting everything above board and just having them, exactly what you need, what the topic's going to be, how long you're going to be speaking, how many women are going to be there, what you're responsible for, what they're
I love it.
responsible for.
Perfect.
It
Hmm.
has, I have
Yeah.
honed it over the years, but wow, it has been a lifesaver for both parties. It protects you, but it also protects the people that are hiring
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
And at first, I didn't think it was necessary, but wow, if you could
Yeah.
come up with a really, it doesn't have to be all legalese and it doesn't have to be, so specific, but it does protect you and the event
Absolutely.
coordinator.
Absolutely. And you call yours a contract. I call mine a confirmation form, whatever you're
Exactly.
comfortable with. And the other thing is, you guys, I'm going to actually post mine at the Facebook group page so you can see. Carla, would you be able to share yours? Would that be something you'd be willing to
Oh yeah,
do?
I could do that.
Oh, we'd love to do that for you
Yeah,
guys because we recognize if you haven't ever done this, you don't even know what questions you're supposed to ask. But I mean, you can ask everything from including, will you have a PowerPoint projector? Are you going to be
exactly.
videoing me? Are you going to be audioing me? And how does that work? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to share that money with
So
me? I
true.
mean, you just have so many questions that you ask, especially as you get doing this more and more. Carla, my love,
Oh,
this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for being here.
it has. Thanks for inviting me, Marnie, and thank you for all that you do for all of us. I really do
Oh,
appreciate it. You're an inspiration. You
oh,
are.
well, love it. And I love you. So thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
Okay,
Take
we'll
care,
see you
Marnie.
guys around. Okay.
All right. Bye bye.